Namaste Vikas Singh ji. Welcome to Sakshi Post, our English website. So, in last 2 hours to 3 hours, country is eagerly waiting to know what Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman is going to tell the entire nation about Union Budget 2020. As a public policy making or otherwise a columnist in different languages, particularly business world like thing, and you are well known to the public. So, we are very glad to invite you for a discussion on this budget. So, first of all, I want to know from you, what is the common man's perspective on this budget after tax relief in income tax, as well as the other benefits that he is going to, he might be, it is a already economists as analysts, they are assuming that it can be. So, it has already happened. So, income tax, there is a 5 lakhs, no income tax like that. And as far as this privatization or otherwise disbursement in public sector units like LIC and other things, there is much talk. Could you elaborate on that? So, first of all, the income tax thing if you take, which is a public concern also.
Okay, so let me start by saying that this is a budget that's going to be forgotten. In the next 1 week or so, people will not talk about the budget. Budgets are made and obviously they need to be forgotten because ultimately budget is a one-day phenomenon. What the government announces on the budget is only a statement of intent about how much the government wants to spend and where it wants to spend.
Yeah.
So, in that sense, there is no huge rocket science about it, it is only an intent. Unfortunately, this budget is going to be forgotten not because it is only a statement of intent, but I have not seen anything that is really going to be rewarding to the common man or to the economy. Now, to the specific point of income tax benefit for the salaried class, most of us need to understand that salaried class, those who are in the organized sector, constitute less than 10% of the labor force. So, in that sense 90% of the people have still been left out.
But different slabs she has announced.
So, which is welcome because at the end of the day our study says that over the last 5 years there has been absolutely no real term growth in the salary of the salaried class. So, in that sense that is a welcome sign.
So, as there is no increase in the salary of the salaried class, that is why it is not going to benefit much.
Is not going to benefit, but reduction in the tax is going to leave more money in the pockets of the salaried class. So, that is given. So, it's been a good decision, but linking that to increase in demand is not going to happen for 2 reasons. One is that most of the salaried class people who earn above 10 lakh rupees have a saving rate of about 20%. So, a reduction in the income tax rate does not mean that they are going to go to the market tomorrow and start spending money. They already had purchasing power, they already had disposable income, they have chosen not to spend that money, and that happens because a middle class person does not go and spend money for one reason. One is that if she or he is not confident about the state of the economy, when you are nervous about it, you don't spend money. So, reduction in the income tax is not going to help in the demand creation. What will help in the demand creation is money in the pockets of the real poor, and that can only happen through GST. Of course, GST is not part of the income tax framework, but that is what will ensure that demand is created. For example, if a poor laborer goes and buys a bar of soap because the rate of tax has gone down, or he buys another meal, or she buys another sari, the poor person, that is going to create the demand.
Okay, but at the same time, generally public expect after looking at newspapers tomorrow or media now, that some exemptions will be there, some rebates will be there, some taxes will be levied, like that their expectations will be different. But this budget we can't find anything like that. So, if or someone they are telling that it's under GST cover only, everything is import duty or export duty, whatever the duties that government generally from last previous budget we are having, we have seen that. So, why not in this budget like that?
So yeah, so people are the middle class is always scared and afraid that there will be some cess added, there will be some more tax that they have to pay. So in that sense, it's we haven't seen that. So that's welcome, and that's also good for the middle class and the salaried class. But I think the budget needs to address the 90% of the people, not only focus on the 10% of the people. So, so my wife herself is an employee. So in that sense, there's more money that's going to come into my house. But the government needed to go beyond salaried class, reducing the tax, reducing the rate of tax is welcome, but it's not enough.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for having me here.